Today this is my tally of my 2024 reading goals, and I decided to set a goal for myself of 100 books in a year. And are you ready for it? I read 30 of them. So it's like um one fourth of the reading goals, but actually what I've decided is in the halfway through the year I realized I shouldn't set myself some goals like that. Especially my goal is to more absorb than to read as many as I can. And I've set that before the end of the year, but in 2025 I've decided that I won't set myself a reading goal, but as much as I can, just read as much as I can, and as fast, and not as fast, but as frequent and as I can, because I have more books in my TBR than I can imagine. And earlier I was looking through the winners of the Goodreads 2024, and I have some in my list, which is I really like. Most of them are nonfiction books and memoirs. Um, like two I consider for fantasy, but I like romance. But in fantasy, I don't know if I ever read them. I'll be sure to, because this year that I found out that in fantasy that I needed to listen to them in audiobook than read, because I realized that by that I can finish them and not take, like, because I'm procrastinating, because like halfway to the book it's like a little bit boring for me, which is it speaks to my comprehension rather than the book itself. So that's the thing about it. And yeah, in the year 2024 I'm currently reading my Goodreads. In the year 2024 I read 30 books and 10,805, which is like a letdown, because last year I read like 100 plus pages, because I finished like 150 books. And you know, the shortest book I've read is in the beginning of the year, which is the Science of Intelligent Decision Making. It's very short. It's just 114 pages. The longest book I read, and one of the hated books that I've realized that I ever purchased, is the Iron Flame. And to tell you that I hate it, I hate it. And I like the first one. That's why I think the first one is called The Fourth Wing. Then I f- I like it, and I felt compelled to buy it. So that is my longest book. So the longest book that I have is Iron Flame, which is 640 pages. Average book length in 2024 is 360 pages. So that's most of the books that we have. So Catching Fire is like in the most shelves. I finished, like, because last year I think I finished this Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah, it was November. Yeah, last year I finished it. And I realized I don't really I wanted to finish the whole one, but yeah, just one more book left in the Hunger Games. I'm taking it to 2025. So the Lee Shelves is 125. The Science of Intelligent Decision Making that speaks within the book. The highest rated in Goodreads is Six of Crows. Oh. And my first review of the year is Yellow Figs, and I love this book so much. So my top five books are The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is, I think, it moves me solely because the writings and how the morals was written in the story, like, ingrained deep within me, that I carry it even though I read it in January. I started reading it in November of 2023, then I finished it in January, because it took me like a month or 3 months to finish it. But yeah, the morals of it, that's the book that I regret not reading, not focusing on. But as yeah, I really love it. Just the I think just the um that's the book that was ingrained deeply in me and set the mood, I think, for 2024. And I'm so lucky that I get to open it. And everyone that I've ever met right now is that is one of, I think, the prerequisite of being my friend. You have to read this. If you're my friend, I'm gonna force you to read it. And I've given that book to, I think, three of my closest friends. So yeah, I'm hoping that they will read it because the future one should. And I encourage you to do also because you would love it. Like the morals of it, like the funny thing, and that book put Oscar Wilde's into trial of some because it is illegal to be queer at that time. So that book put him to trial. It's so funny because there's a recent article that says that um it wasn't that queer. So yeah, kinda it's pretty relevant to the day, and it's written, I think, in 1827 or maybe later or earlier, but it still is prevalent in the story and the morals of it, and especially how the people in your lives will influence the way that you act. So you have to be selective on who you would trust and who would you hear opinions on, and that kind of thing. I can talk like an hour of this book just to, pinpoint the things that I like, but mostly the morals of it are just so great. So the second one is Yellowface. This is a non-fiction, I think, but yeah, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's a story about a woman, and it's poking fun of the publishing industry and what happens inside of that. And um it's funny, it's hilarious, it's a bit thriller, and people in the internet, I think I've heard like some writers doing the same thing. So it might be true to life, I don't know, but it wasn't. It was a product of imagination with the great author Arif Kwang. I've loved her takes and books ever since I've read The Poppy War. I like it. So the third one is My Dark Vanessa. My Dark Vanessa is a story about a young girl, through her life since back then and to the present, through her life, how she navigates the kind of trauma that was imparted by that. I don't think that I'm allowed to say that. So by that person who groomed her, who literally took her childhood and just um guilt her, haunted her for the rest of her days. And it was so awful, but at the same time, it it was we can see it from time to time, and it changes my perspective because before understand like the need for that romance, because it was like spoon fed to us in the literary media, that it was quote normalized. But reading this is realizing that no no woman, no such person with that age, like a decade or more older than that, and what they have, um having a relationship with is okay. It's not, especially when it's a teenager and you're in your 30s. It's never okay. Like it she was twice his age or more, I think. But yeah, it opened my eyes a little bit and become like I can't look at that trope the same anymore. One is Atomic Habits. I also read, I think my best book was the first four ones I've read them at the beginning of the year, like the first quarter of the year, because it set the mood for me. So the Atomic Habits, it's just a compilation and a research by the author of how by doing 1% of what you are used to, you you make a change, and by that 1% it's a huge change, but it's not, it's gradual and it's evidence based, and the book shows like literal statistics, and I really forget about it, but that's the gist of it. Just improve whatever you need improving by 1%. Like do it from one at a time, and then see, like, stick to it for like a while, maximum. I think 3 months or 90 or 100 days, but stick with it for a while and see what happens and what you like change your life. Make sure that it's for the better. Like just decreasing one factor of it and see what happens. So, and the fifth one is People We Met on Vacation. I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it's one of the best like books that the author has, and I've just put it off for a while because I've been down because I've read this, I think, just later. I think November or maybe earlier in December. I read it in no, I purchased the audiobook of it and read it. But I know I listened to it in Spotify audiobook. So yeah, I like it because the angst, the longing. I do think they're both stupid, but it's not the right time, it's not the right place, and they tried, but reading this makes me realize that you can never have the main guy. I think his name is Alex. Yeah, you can never have Alex in your life, the one that's down so down bad for you, because it's not just realistic, and it makes me sad to see that because as I'm reading this also, the quirkiness of Polly, I think I relate to that, but I'm more so in Alex's side, like um the fear of it, um wanting the mundane stuff, but at the same time I'm not. So I think I'm a bit mix of the character, and that's what I like about reading because you can see yourself in each, like, people you try to relate. So yeah, I like it. I like it. I don't like the ending though. I feel like there's no way to navigate it, and Alex talked about going to New York. Like the effort of like him surrendering everything that he wants for her, and she surrendering like the life that she thought she would be happy, but sometimes home is not a place or an opportunity, but is a person that you feel like um so comfortable by, so happy by, that whenever whenever they're together, they're themselves. But I do think they are in a codependent relationship. That's what my notes on it. Or dependent relationship. I do think that they're in a dependent relationship. So take that with a grain of salt. But I like it. It's just like they took like a decade or so. So it's like waste time. But it's okay. They're willing to get let go of their dreams and aspiration for each other. But the confessions comes after it when they already did that. It's just weird. But yeah, I think you do stupid things for that kind of affection though. What smacks me in the head while reading is that when Alex says, I think like no one ever knew me until you, and I don't think that I'm lonely until I found you and I realized I wanted to be with someone. Like, that was so heartwarming and nice to hear. And whenever I found someone, I'm taking notes on that. I'm paraphrasing that to my, you know, that's nice to hear. So yeah, it's great. The bonus books that I like, it's not my top five, but this one is first. This is How You Lose a Time War. I rated it 4 stars, but I really like it because I really love the writing on it and it how they how they navigate the story towards the end. I like how they place the ending of it. And it's also like enemies to lovers because they're fighting and but they realize along the way that they can only the only way that they could understand each the only people who knew them and understand them is the like both of them. They become so engrossed with each other, seeing them, seeing that dynamic as an enemy, that they manage to like or even love each other towards the end. And I think that's really beautiful to see, especially to like to hear, like to see that. And they have a certain understanding that even though they're like centuries and ages apart and seasons and climates and whatever that they have between their way, they try to take care of each other. And yeah, it's so beautiful. It's written so beautifully. It's just like slow paced for me, but you know, I'm dumb. That's saying more of me than the book itself, but I like it. The last two is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So it's her memoir about the things that she's been through. She's a Nickelodeon star, and now I think she's a writer right now and a filmmaker. And yeah, she's navigating through that like phases of her life, and it's so heartwarming because as much as she felt like love for her parent, particularly her mom and also her father, she realized that what her mother did was very like. But later in life, when her mom is already gone and she have got to deal with, but yeah, it's just so difficult. I think for that because up until now, I believe that she's healing because trauma goes a long way and it got so deep that it's part of you. That what I think whatever you do, you would always be a part of that. And I think Jeanette written that so beautifully. So I just like it. I like how it's phrased. I've learned a lot from it also, like spots the narcissist and what they do and how they behave. And some most of the time we're blinded by if we like someone, like if they like us, we are blinded by how they act to other people. But yeah, that's what happens to Jeanette, and I'm glad she outgrew that, and I hope all the best for her. And the last one is Friends, Lover, and the Big Terrible Thing, but Matthew Perry, R.I.P. Matt. And I always love him with Chandler as friends. I have like tattoo of him and Joey like cheering, so I always like him. And um, it's sad what happened like just this year. Is no last year, right? No, it's sad what happened last year, but is this year? Last year? I think it's last year. It's sad what happened like last year to him. It's October. Yeah, it's sad what happened to him and how the closest people in their lives did that. And I just know that this is in a better place. And yeah, the impact that he had, that he tried to have in like the um like the sobriety thing, and it's very difficult to like navigate that when you are in that position. But he tried, and it's just that his enemies at that time are so much bigger than him and work behind it. And since like he was like exposed to that since a young age, it's, as I was saying, it's very difficult to separate yourself from that. And it's part of you, and it's just a weak moment. And for a split second, he gave in and he died. And it was very sad. But I really like his memoir. And yeah, he left such an impact that I think would be helpful. And even his earnings was dedicated to the cause that he tried to fight. And yeah, and Matthew did as much as he could, and it's a life well lived. And I encourage you to read that also. Now, let's go to the books that I really, really, really am not amused. Disappointed is a terrible term, but I'm not amused by it. So first one is Exodus. My God, I hate this book, and it's terrible. I think it's close to pain porn, or like you know, and it was terrible. And the protagonist in that character, I don't know. The adults are not looking out for her, and she has a mom, but I know it's part of the plot, but it makes no sense. And it's just, he's just obsessed with the idea of people that who left her, and whatever cause she felt like she belonged, but it's just months. I don't understand it. And my God, I think I I just finished this book so that I can have valid reasons to hate it more, and I'll stand by it. I hate it, and I think it's part of the trilogy. I read the first one, and I hated. I really hated it, and no, I hated it, but I was compelled enough to buy the part two. But I'm really disappointed with the second part, and yeah, I wish I didn't read it. So that kind of hatred. So the second one is Iron Flame. So the Iron Flame, I hate it, but not as much as I hate the Exodus, because I kind of sort of like it, but I just find the protagonist so annoying. That's it. And I just realized that it's not for me. Fantasy, I could divulge into it, but I just finished. I think this one, the reason that I finished this one is just I wasted my Audible credits for this, and I feel guilty. And since you can't return it, that's why I just finished it just to put in my TBR. So that's the reason. And then the third one that I sorta not amused because hated this album is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. It's because maybe I got spoiled a lot. That's why. But I have the second book and I will read it. And the one striking character distracting me is Matthias. And I get spoiled a lot, so I know what will happen. And it's just terrible. So yeah. I rated it like 3 stars, but I think it's good. It's just not for me. The fourth one is All the Light That I Cannot See. I've procrastinated this book that it took me like 4 months to read it because I think it's very slow pacing. And it wasn't at the right time. It wasn't at the right time and a right moment because of all the Palestine conflict that Israel was putting on. So That's the reason why I kinda do for it. But the thing about me is when I have something in my to do list that I didn't do it, and if I procrastinated it, I have to wait until let it finish before I can start a new thing. That's the thing about me. I've tried to move on from it. It's just that I didn't, and this is one of the biggest reason why I didn't hit my goal. Aside, first of most, I'm lazy, and this is the second one. So I did that, and but I like it. I think I gave it like 3 stars or 4. It's just that I didn't like it, but I appreciate the writing. It's very descriptive for me. That's why I think it's very slow. But yeah, it navigates. I like the ending of it. And like the guy who was in the story, impacts in her life was the reason that she is living despite of all that she's been going. It's a story about hope. That's why I like it. So that's it. And the fifth one that I'm not amused is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's whiny. I don't like her. Imagine two guys at your disposal, and you're making like it's a choice of life or death. You're not the one who just survived in that situation, and it's terrible to be stuck in your head. That's why I'm not amused by it. Go on a tangent on why I hate it more, but I think that's enough for a reason. I think the only main thing that I hate is being stuck on her head, and she's whiny and kind of ungrateful, but here and there. I realize why she's that. It's just I think she got it over the board. I mean, for me the normal level is four. For me the normal level of whininess, or like to be able to understand what she's going through, I think it's 4, and she did it by 14. She leaped like more. So I don't understand what happened, but I was reading it. I was dreading of finishing it because I know I kind of know what would happen, and I kind of knew who would she choose, but yeah, both guys I think deserves more, but that's just me. I'm looking forward to like mostly all of my books in in the bookshelf that I have. So but I think I'm gonna include for this year, for the January, my priority is like the third installment of Hunger Games, which is the Mockingbird, and then I don't know if it's in Audible or it's not finished yet. The Catabases by R.F. Kuang. I think it's finished in August before she got married this year. But I haven't read it, but it's in my TBR for a while. So I'm gonna finish this January. And then since I like um People We Met on Vacation by Emily Henry, I think. Yeah. And I will read the funny story, which is it is higher in Goodreads, but I think it's number one in the romance tier. But yeah, I like People We Met on Vacation because I have so much low of an expectation, and I don't know. I think it got higher because I like the People We Met on Vacation, but so excited to do this. Um, the reason why I'm so lazy and I decided to like finish this because I have a wisdom tooth removal later, and uh, if we're so lucky, my tattoo will be like I've asked my friend to um like draw me something, and it's Penelope, so I'm really quite excited. She's doing a good job by her drafts, and I'm kind of excited how it would be looking. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited. I really like Penelope Featherington. I love her. I like Nicola, but I love Penelope. She's in my heart. And yeah. I'm just I'm just gonna rant for a little bit. And I'm so sleepy because it's 8 and I have an appointment at 10. It's supposed to be at 9, but something changed. And I will edit this so this will be gone at the first, like, at the first week of the 2025. Can you imagine it? And I'm hoping to publish more videos, like once a week, maybe twice if I can, if I could. But I'm working on shorts and reels, and I haven't really got the hang of it because I'm too shy. I'm too afraid of the other people opinions, and it's stupid. I know the people that are around me saying that it's stupid, especially my brother. But sometimes you can't fight it off. You just have to wait for it and realize that it's stupid by your own. And hopefully that one changes for a little bit because it's quite, nerve wracking too. Yeah, everything's cool and Happy New Year. I wish I could be more presentable, but I'm not because I'm so tired. No, no buts. I'm just lazy. Mm. Happy New Year to everyone. And I hope much more blessings will come to you and your family and prosperous like year. Continue to be great. And yeah, that's all. Bye.